Hello friends, so today we are going to start our course or a new chapter on power diodes and rectifiers. So till now we are going through the introduction of power electronics, which was basically getting to understand the various characteristics of switches, ideal switches, practical switches, etc. So today we are going to start our first device, which is called power diodes. Okay, so before starting the actual discussion on power diodes, we have to just see some areas of applications in which diodes are used. So I already told you any power electronic device is basically a switch. Therefore, the power diodes are also basically switches. Okay, so the diodes acts as switches to perform various functions. See, with various type of switching activities, you get different type of applications. Okay, so they can be used as a rectifier. Okay, so they will be used in rectifiers. Okay, and they can be used in freewheeling in regulator circuits. So we are just going through a broad list of applications: freewheeling in regulator circuits, and then charge reversal in capacitors. That is, if you want to reverse the charge across the capacitors, charge reversal of capacitors, the switching action of the diodes can be used. Other than that, then you are having the energy transfer between components. Energy transfer between components. So there the diodes are used. And then you are having another important application is voltage isolation. There diodes are used. We are just listing out these applications so that you can understand how widespread applications of diodes are. Okay. Then energy feedback from source to load. Such circuits, diodes are used. And then finally you are having trapped energy recovery. Okay, so these are some wide areas of applications in which diodes and its switching applications are used. Now the diodes that you must have seen in your colleges are the small diodes, right? So those small diodes usually cannot handle a lot of current. Okay, so till now you might have seen in your analog electronics lab, etc., the small diodes like IN 4001, 4148, etc. Now such diodes are called signal diodes. Okay, signal diodes. But we are not bothering about signal diodes. We are talking about power diodes. So the basic difference between a power diode and a signal diode is that the power diodes have the larger current and voltage withstanding capability. But however, the frequency response of power diodes is not as good as the signal diodes. That is, the performance of the diode with a large spectrum of frequency is not as good as the signal diodes. Okay, so these are having frequency response is low. As compared to signal diodes. So I've just taken a simple data sheet here just to give you a comparison between these two. Now this is a signal diode. This is from Vishay Semiconductors, a very popular manufacturer, and this is a power diode. So if you can see the power diode here, you can see the ratings I have just taken a random rating here. It can goes up to 600 amperes, huge rating. Here if you see the ratings are comparatively, for example, if you see the forward continuous current, it is 300 milliamperes. So usually the signal diodes are in that range, whereas the power diode you can find it in higher currents and higher voltage ratings. Okay, even if you see, so the peak reverse voltage, if you see, it is 100 volts. So these are not very high values. So this is a simple signal diode and this is the power diode. You see even the construction you see here. So this is the diode which you might have seen, but here you have the stud version where it is actually screwed type. So these are the diodes which you can see. See, you can, if you go to the website of a particular manufacturer, you can find for various rating: 100 ampere, 200 ampere, 300 ampere, 600 ampere. Similarly, here also you can find a lot of different variations. Now, the commonly used semiconductors to manufacture these types of diodes, that is the commonly used semiconductors for the manufacture of power diodes are usually silicon, germanium or gallium arsenide. Gallium arsenide. These are the popular choices which are available in the literature also. Okay, so basically you know what is the type, what is the diode. The diode I already told you, it is that type of a device which has single p-n junction. So here you are having your p type, n type material, and this is your diode, right? So schematically if you draw the symbol of this, it looks like this, right? So this is the anode side, this is the cathode side, and the direction of the arrow, this direction shows the direction of the forward current, which is usually represented by the value ID. Okay, and here you are having the voltage across the diode VD. So if the diode is forward biased, the current will move from left to the right side or in this direction. This arrow direction, I will just draw it in I will just color it little bit. So the arrow direction shows the direction of the current. The direction of the arrow shows the direction of the forward current. Forward current is the current which is flowing when the diode is forward biased. Okay, now it is simple. When the anode is positive, with respect to the cathode, you call that the diode is forward biased, right? When the anode is positive with respect to cathode, the diode is forward biased, right? And what happens then? It starts conducting. The diode starts conducting and forward current flows. And the forward current flows. Now inside this diode itself you will have a small voltage drop. Okay, that voltage drop is called the forward voltage drop of the diode. The diode has a small voltage drop. Across it, which is called the forward voltage drop of the diode. Okay, so usually that ranges from 0.5 to 0.7 volts depending upon the material of construction, depending upon silicon, depending of germanium, and depending of gallium arsenide. It can have values from 0.5 to 0.7. Usually in numericals they will give this value of what value you have to take to solve the numericals. Okay, similarly, if the anode is negative with respect to cathode, right? So here anode, cathode. Now the anode is negative with respect to cathode. The diode is called reverse biased. The diode is reverse biased. Okay, or you can call that the diode is turned off. Diode is in its off condition. Okay. Now in this case, what happens is that because you are no device is diode, you will always have a current which is flowing, which is called a leakage current. And in this case, if you are giving a polarity like this, a small leakage current will flow. So a small current called reverse current or the leakage current may flow through the diode. So what all terms you have come across? You have a diode voltage. When you are putting forward bias, you are having forward current. When you are putting reverse voltage, the diode is off, but a small current which is called leakage current or reverse current flows through the diode. Okay. So now let us just, I have just put up a small simulation. We will just see what all terms we have seen now here. Of course, I will not be able to show the leakage current here. That we will see in another video. So here you can see a small simulation which I have put up. So note here closely. So here is a 9 volt battery. This is a simple 9 volt battery, and this meter here measures the input supply, which is a 9 volt. So this you can see that it is a 20 volt. This is 20 volt from here to here. So from this point to this point it is 10 volt. So each section is divided into 5 different divisions. So each division is 2 volts. So it is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So 9 volt is somewhere in the middle here. So between 8 and 10 you are having the 9 volts. Okay. So here you have a switch here. So at this point of time, in this position, the switch is giving 0 volt here. Okay, switch is giving 0 volt to the diode. If I switch the, if I put the switch in the another position, you will get the 9 volt, which will apply the positive volt to the diode here. So this is the diode, and this meter measures the voltage across the diode. Then I have kept a simple resistor here, and this will measure this oscilloscope is going to measure the voltage across the resistor here. Okay, so I already started the simulation here. Now at this point of time, in this switching position, I am applying a ground potential to the diode. Therefore the diode is not conducting, the diode is not forward biased. Therefore if you see, the output voltage is 0, right? The output voltage is 0. If I am turning on the switch, if I give positive voltage here, the diode will conduct, and this output voltage will come across this particular voltage. So this is 9 volt. So here also you are expecting 9 volt to come, right? The diode will conduct, and this voltage will come here. So we will switch. Okay. So now I have switched. I have given the switching action here. So it will take a little bit of time to stabilize. Yeah. So if you see here, this is 9 volt. Look closely. This is 9 volt here, but this is not 9 volt. It is a little bit less than the 9 volt. Why that happened? Because when the diode is conducting, there is a voltage drop of 590 millivolts or 0.59 volt or 0.6 volt across this diode. So this 10 minus this 0.6 volt or 0.59 volt will come across the load voltage. So that is the idea here. When the diode is conducting the forward direction, there will be a voltage across the diode here. Okay, but in this case I am not showing the reverse leakage current here. That we will see when we do a more detailed simulation. Okay, so here we are just trying to see all these things. So this is not a rectifier circuit. Here this is a very simple circuit. I am just switching on the diode using a positive voltage. Okay, this is not a half wave or a full wave rectifier. That will come in the later part of the videos. Okay, so that is what we have seen in this particular video. Now if you draw the characteristics, okay, that is the characteristics in the sense, if this is the diode, so this is the anode, this is the cathode, this is the positive voltage Vd, and this is the positive forward current Id. So in an ideal diode, what will be the characteristics? In an ideal diode, even if apply very less voltage should be applied for the current to flow. That means in ideal case almost a 0 volt should be applied. So this is Vd, this is Id. Okay, even if a 0 volt is applied, the current should increase. So this will be the characteristic. Okay, and in an ideal case, how much ever reverse voltage I apply, that means this is positive voltage Vd. If I apply a negative voltage Vd, so this is negative voltage Vd, how much ever negative voltage I apply, the current should not flow in an ideal case, right? How much ever I apply, the current should not flow in an ideal case. So if whatever voltage I apply in this side, whatever Vd value I apply in this negative direction, it should not give any current. So in the ideal case it should be like this. But you know that all cases are not ideal. We are talking about practical switches now. So we'll draw it in the next page. Okay, so in the ideal case, we'll just draw it everything very fast. So this is Id, this is Vd, Id, and this is Vd. So this is for practical switch, and this is for ideal diode. So you saw that in the ideal case, the characteristic look like this, right? But in the practical case, you know that the current will start to build up only after this 0.6 volt, because 0.6 volt itself is dropped across the diode. So the characteristics look something like this. Till this point, you won't get much increase in current, but after a particular value, which is also called as Vt, or a threshold voltage, the current starts increasing rapidly. So after this particular diode voltage, so this is not supply voltage graph. This is the voltage across the diode. Though it is not that 9 volt, it is the voltage across the diode. After that 0.5 or 0.7 volt across the diode, the current will increase rapidly, depending upon and don't think this current will go to infinity. It will be limited to the value of resistor which you have, or value of load which you have applied. Okay, so that we will see in the later class. So this is minus Vd. So in the ideal case, you saw that whatever negative voltage you apply here, there will be 0 current. But there will be always a reverse leakage current. So when you increase the negative direction like this, there is a small amount of current that is flowing. And after a particular voltage which is called as a breakdown voltage, the current will start increasing rapidly. Okay, you might have already learned this. This is also called as the avalanche breakdown. Avalanche breakdown. Now if you see here you see the current is constant. There is the reverse current is constant irrespective of the voltage which I was applying. Reverse current was constant irrespective of the negative voltage I was applying. That is because actually the equation, the diode equation, which is popularly called, is also called as the Shockley diode equation. Shockley diode equation. ID is equal to, that is the diode current is equal to Is into e power Vd divided by n into Vt minus 1. In the next video, we will go through this equation in a much depth manner and we will see why this reverse current is constant. So I hope today you have liked this video. So till I see you in the next video, it's me Varun signing off and have a great day. Thank you. Now that the video is over, please stay with me for 30 more seconds. Now the vision of this channel is to create a repository of good quality videos with crystal clear explanation regarding various topics related to electrical engineering. Now if you want to help me spread the word, please share this video with anyone interested in these topics. The second thing is that for me, education is a two-way process. Therefore, if you have any doubts or suggestions regarding any of the videos or regarding the channel, please put them in the comments below. We can have a healthy discussion and that way we can build a strong community of electrical engineers. So that's it for today's video. So till I see you in the next time, it's me Varun signing off and have a great day. Thank you.